You're listening to an exclusive interview on WNS. All right, folks, joining us on the show this week, it is the boss, former three-time WWE Women's Champion for Raw, Sasha Banks. Sasha, welcome to the show.
That's right. Well, thanks for having me.
Got a few questions for you as we jump right in. You've made headlines being in NXT, and now you've made headlines coming up to the main roster on Raw. In fact, back in 2015, you had what is considered one of the greatest matches of the year when you faced Bayley at NXT TakeOver in Brooklyn, and again in your Iron Man match with Bayley. What is it about your chemistry with Bayley that made your matches so special?
It was our love-hate relationship, and just figuring out that, we actually have so much in common. We love this business so much, and, talking to her more, like, her dream was to be a wrestler when she was 10. My dream was to be a wrestler when I was 10. I wanted to change the definition of what it was to be a woman in the WWE, and she had the exact same feelings. So it's just that mutual love for this, and knowing that we always wanted to steal the show, and getting the opportunity at NXT Brooklyn, man, and just hearing that crowd, we tore the house down. And honestly, I can't wait to do it again. I can't wait to tie up with her again. But that's all in due time. And, ever since then, from that very moment, this woman's evolution has just been taking over. And from there, I got to main event, a WWE pay-per-view with Charlotte in a Hell in a Cell, and the first ever women's match in a Hell in a Cell. And it's just been such a whirlwind of just excitement. It's so crazy.
Absolutely, and like you said, making history when you and Charlotte became the first two women to headline a WWE pay-per-view and the first two women to compete in Hell in a Cell. So take me through the thoughts that you had when you were walking through the curtain towards the cell. What were you thinking when you saw it?
Well, first of all, I came out in an SUV, so I wasn't really walking through because I'm a boss, you know what I'm saying? But it was in my hometown. I just remember being and looking at it and be like, holy crap, man, we are making history. And it's moments like that where you just kind of have to stand still for a second and look around. And I remember I did that, and I was just like, man, we've come such a long way for the women. But even from then, getting to be part of WrestleMania and having these great women's matches. And, the SmackDown women are going to be competing in the first ever women's Money in the Bank. And, of course, I'm really jealous, but I'm so happy just to see where this women's division has taken and grown. It's so incredible, man.
You mentioned growing up as a fan. It's been well documented. You being a fan of Eddie Guerrero growing up. Now that you're on the main stage of WWE, how does it feel knowing that now you have fans who are wanting to follow in your footsteps? What advice would you give to them?
Oh, first of all, it makes me feel super old. But it's so crazy seeing little girls and even guys come up to me and be like, I want to be a wrestler because of you. And it honestly it just gives me the feels. It gives my heart like this. So happy, and it gives me goosebumps because I know that feeling of when I was a little girl and I looked up to all my favorite wrestlers, knowing that I wanted to be in their footsteps, and now knowing that little girls and guys want to be in my footsteps. It's surreal. It's really surreal, and it's an honor. Being a role model is legit number one for me, and I just want to make little girls proud and know that if they have a dream, they can do it. As long as they put their heart and their passion and everything into it, they can accomplish anything.
Very cool. What would you say was the most difficult transition for you from going from NXT up to the Monday Night Raw roster? Because I know NXT they have a centralized location, but they do tour often, but not on the same schedule as Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, I think for me, we did TVs at Full Sail in Orlando, and it would almost be the same kind of fans coming every single month. And we would tape it, but Raw is live. We do this legit every single week. It's live. It's in a different state, and it's a different crowd every single week. So you just don't know what to expect, and you kind of just have to change with the crowd. If they're feeling one way, you got to try to make them feel another. You know what I mean? So it was definitely just changing that and not having TV tapings to being live every single week, and the travel schedule, man. It's intense, but if this is your passion, it's easy, man. I have the greatest times. We have the greatest fans, and they're so passionate and loyal, and it's so much fun.
Since you went up to the main roster, has there anyone who sort of took you under their wing to kind of help you throughout?
Nope. Honestly, when I first got called up, I was so nervous, and the people that really just looked after me was New Day, and I was so fortunate enough to be paired with two amazing, incredible women, Tamina and Naomi, and they just took care of me so much. But it was those girls in New Day what kept me going. They told me, their struggles, their highs, their lows, and we were all in it together. And those are my people right there. That's my family. You know, you have to create a bond with these people because we see these people more than we see our own family. I see my mom legit like twice a year, and I see these guys every single week, 4 times a week, you know what I mean? So you just kind of have to create that bond. And, you know, we fight, we argue, but we love each other all the most. They become my siblings.
Yeah, absolutely. You even return the favor of them being your family by appearing on Up, Up, Down, Down from time to time. Actually, you lost a competition and had to eat hot pepper. How was that?
Oh, that was awful because, you know, I really do love spicy food, but Bailey added sriracha to a habanero pepper, and that was awful. I thought I was going to die. I was more scared that I was just going to be on the toilet all day before a match. But thankfully, I got it together, ate a lot of rice, soaked that all up, and, you know, that's no fun. But the Up, Up, Down, Down it's such a great outlet for all the boys, just, you know, to be able to relax before a big show. And it sucks to lose, so I got to go win right now. I want to play Up, Up, Down, Down right now.
There you go. So you're no stranger to video games, but oddly enough, the number one question that I got from people whenever I told them I was going to be interviewing you is, is it true she's a big fan of Sailor Moon, and what other animes is she into?
Oh, my God. So Sailor Moon's my number one. I've watched that since I was a little girl, and I used to stay, because I didn't understand time when I was really young. It would always come on at 6 in the morning, so I stayed up all night thinking, you know, it would be on at night because it was still dark outside. So I would always watch Sailor Moon. I love Death Note. That's one of my favorite animes of all time. Monster, School Rumble. I can just go on and on. I love anime.
What are your thoughts on the fans who like to dress up as you? Since we're going into anime, that made me think of cosplay, and you see fans all the time dressing up as Sasha Banks. How does that feel? Is that inspiring? Is it flattering, or is it kind of weird?
No, it really makes me know that I've made it. The fact that people would take the time out to buy my stuff or even make costumes to dress up like me, to get a purple wig, you know, it's just like everything. It's the coolest thing I've seen. And, you know, we come to these WWE shows and I see it all the time, or I go to autograph signing, and just even seeing little girls wear my jewelry and my necklace, it's the best feeling in the world.
I want to switch gears a little bit because we are getting ready for the upcoming Mae Young Women's Classic. Is there anyone that you would Is there anyone you'd like to see enter? Is there anyone that maybe you have your eye on that you wouldn't mind watching in the ring?
Yeah. So anytime when it comes to like a really big show or matches, I go down to Brooklyn, New York, and I train with Amazing Red. And getting to work with his students have been absolutely incredible. So there's this woman named Sonia, and Sonia Strong, and she loves it so much, and I love her passion for it. So I really want to try to push her into this Women's Classic, but I think this is a great opportunity for women all over the world. And just finding out that we were going to have our own tournament after seeing these guys get it after year, and it's like, you know, no, the women deserve it too, and it's going to be, honestly, I think it's going to be the best tournament out of all of them that we had so far. And I can't wait to go down there and support them all, and it's going to be absolutely amazing.
Definitely. And I'm sure you've been asked this question numerous times, and you've probably gotten sick of hearing it, but how does it feel knowing that you're part of that women's revolution, the change in the WWE, and not just WWE, but for the entire world? It's showing women can be taken just as equally, if not more.
It's exactly. Women are taking over the world right now, and it's such an honor to be part of it. I always knew that I wanted to change the definition of what it was to be a diva, and now we're not divas anymore. We're superstars because we are equal, and we can do it just like the men. We can main event like them. We can take over pay-per-views, and we can just show out and show them that we are better than all of them. So it's a huge honor, and, we still have a lot more to do and a lot to overcome, but we are in the right footstep, and we're just going to keep on going up.
Very cool. You're only 25 years old. You have so much of your career ahead of you, but you've already obtained such a level of success. You were NXT Women's Champion, 3-time WWE Raw Women's Champion. You're in the first Hell in a Cell Women's match. What do you think is going to be the next big challenge for the boss? What's your next step?
I want to main event WrestleMania, baby. That's the number one goal right now, is just to get there. It's so crazy knowing that I've only really been on the main roster for 2 years now, and I've done so much, accomplished so many things. I've done so many first-time evers, and, man, it gives me goosebumps thinking that I've done so much, and everything that I ever dreamt of, I have accomplished. But main eventing WrestleMania is the number one goal right now.
Very nice. And we always like to ask this question just because we never really know what to expect. Sometimes you get a funny one. Sometimes you get a more serious, oh, man, they almost got in trouble. But is there any kind of on-the-road story that you could share, something that you were involved in that's just really fun to tell?
Oh, man, that's almost too broad of a question. I can't think. It's something always happens every single week. Because we travel all over the world. We're in a different town every single day, and it's so hard to think of any stories, man. I don't know. Maybe one time me and Bailey almost died because we couldn't see. We were driving in Pennsylvania, and I almost ran off a cliff, and I was like, ah! We were in the middle of nowhere, and our GPS would stop working. I was just like, oh, my God, are we going to make it? So there's, like, little scary stories like that. There's so many funny stories, but you know, it's the journey, and maybe you can read it in my book one day. Maybe I'll write a book.
Definitely. You'll definitely have to look forward to that, all the crazy stories like that. If you have a personal matchup that is your all-time favorite.
So what's my favorite match I've ever seen?
Yeah.
Of course, any Eddie Guerrero match is my favorite. But people are going to know that. So I loved Eddie versus Rey Mysterio from WrestleMania 21 and a Halloween Havoc. But I also love Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker at WrestleMania, their first one they've done. Mm-hmm. That one I always watch, and it still gets me every time. I'm like, oh my God. And matches like that are just like timeless, you know. If you can still be a fan after you already know who wins and loses, those are the matches that I'm just like, oh my God, it's amazing. And of course, me versus Bailey from NXT Brooklyn. She's my favorite wrestler of all time, so I love wrestling her.
Well, very cool. Well, Sasha, we certainly appreciate your time. Like I said, you will be appearing in Beaumont Ford Arena June 11th as part of the WWE SummerSlam Heatwave Tour. It's going to have Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, Bray Wyatt, the Hardy Boys, Alexa Bliss, and, of course, the boss, Sasha Banks. And you can follow her on Twitter at Sasha Banks WWE.
Yeah, I can't wait. Thank you.